Well, little Smokies, we're back, baby. Let's do this.
It's like a rocket ship in here. Well, we're back.
Missed a week.
Yes. Why did we miss that week here, Simone?
I apologize to our 14 followers that that we did not have an episode because it was Easter. So I was celebrating the day that the Lord rose from the grave.
What?
Isn't that what Easter is? Yes, that's what Easter is.
I don't know. That's up to you, dude. You'd have to guide me on that deep and wide and all of those things. I don't know anything about Easter other than like an Easter bunny or some, I'm not religious. I don't know.
How really know.
I mean, maybe someday, but for now, no. But yeah, sorry everybody. We were a little delayed in getting back, but we are here. And there's been quite the little scuffle lately. I don't know if anybody's heard of the Diddler. You heard of the Diddler?
Sounds like the Joker, except not as cool
You mean
or
the Riddler?
appropriate. Yeah.
It sounds like the Riddler, not the Joker, because those are two different characters. I'm not even a huge fan of all this stuff. I just feel really sad right now for all the fans that are, because that was disappointing. So
What? Wait. The Joker is Batman.
yes,
The Riddler is
also Batman, another evil character. There's more than one enemy for Batman. What about Penguin? Okay, who's Penguin a part of? What universe is that?
That's Batman.
Exactly.
Batman.
So how is it unbelievable that the Riddler could be a part of that?
Well, I just think it's weird that the Joker and the Riddler, like, they're both jokes. Like,
maybe. I don't know. Now you're making me doubt things. I don't know how I feel about this right now. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. Hold on. With the power of the Googles.
Is Riddler the one that has two faces? Like, two faces?
I'm pretty sure. No, Riddler's the question mark guy. Yes, he's in Batman. God, you see what you did? Dang it. I hate it here. This is why we skipped a week.
Guy?
The question, yeah, the one that Jim Carrey played. You remember that? I don't know why I said that, because I'm going to go with probably not. No?
I think I did watch that one.
So yeah, well, I don't believe you. I'm going to be honest. I don't believe
I did watch when Heath Ledger was the Joker.
Well, you and I'm pretty sure 3/4 of the population of the earth, is probably arguably the best Batman. However, the Diddler trailed off a little bit here. Sorry, everybody. The Diddler is not a reference to Batman or the Riddler.
Not in Batman. Nope.
Or Joker.
Not affiliated with Batman whatsoever.
No. I'm pretty sure that I think Batman's DC or whichever one it is there. I'm pretty sure that they'd want to distance themselves from the Diddler if it did have anything to do with them. So for those who may not know what we're talking about here, it's the old P. Diddy, Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
Simone came in here for the podcast recording with her sign in as Puff for the record.
I feel sad inside because I do enjoy me some Puff Daddy.
What's your favorite Puff Daddy song? Tell the audience.
I was listening to one on Friday. What's the most common one with what's his name?
Well, it's your favorite, I would think,
I
right?
don't know the name of this song. What's his name?
His is not very
No,
specific. I'm gonna need you to
it'll
help
come
me
to
out.
me. But anyways, I was out on a Friday night living my life, and Puff Daddy came on the radio, and I wanted to do a little jig, and I started to do a little jig, and then I got sad and stopped jigging.
And why were you sad? What would make you sad about Puff Daddy?
Well, he's a diddler of sorts, and has got himself,
Been quite the little diddle.
yes, quite Diddy the Diddler got himself in a diddle.
Yeah, so turns out shocking. I don't think anybody has ever said anything negative about Puff Daddy. This is crazy, right? Like this is out of nowhere. Nobody's ever questioned his morality or or the legitimacy of some of his court winnings and things of that. So yeah, we figured we'd go down that little rabbit hole with the kids today. So we appreciate you little wieners or little smokies
No.
actually. Yeah. Oh, well, I've been doing a lot of research on the P. Diddy stuff, so my apologies for the slip on that.
So you make jokes about P. Diddy not being in the news, but I was actually shocked by this news.
Oh, well, some of us weren't, but apparently this was shocking and news for you, huh?
It was. I thought, he doesn't strike me as someone that has like the highest morality. Is that the right word? Morality?
It's okay. We'll go
Moral
forward with it.
compass.
We'll allow it. Yeah, there you go.
And I was a little shocked by the news, to be honest.
What was the most shocking part about this?
That him and we'll go through this, but that him and J-Lo, the club incident from 1991.
That was the most of everything.
Was it in 1991? That
I'm
seems
pretty
like
sure it was
so.
99.
Yeah, I'm like, that's so long ago. I was 3 or something.
Our research department needs to just make sure that they're referencing their research. That's 1999. But that of all the allegations made, that's the most shocking thing.
No, I don't think the most shocking, but like once we started to get into it, I just felt very sad by all of it. The Notorious B.I.G. That's who I was thinking of. Thank you. Continue.
You couldn't remember Biggie? Oh, God. Okay, so we're going to continue on, but we do understand if you need to disconnect from this one. I assure you that at least we've researched this at minimum. And Simone apparently is a fan of the mystery B.I.G.
Hey, that's you. I just couldn't. If you should have been able to remember that.
How? You said him, that guy. What? Do you know how many artists have worked with P. Diddy?
I think he's probably the best one. Okay,
Wow.
speaking of which, hold on. I got news.
Oh?
Did you see, this is speculation, but I did my research, that speculatory that now next in line Jay-Z is going to be going down because of his affiliation with P. Diddy.
Oh, yeah, I did, but I haven't seen anything specific about that yet.
Oh, I'm
See,
just saying, I'm trying to, hook the listeners, reel them back in for next time we talk about this.
oh, I'm sure there's going to be things developing over time. Quite a bit. I like to see you fishing. Yes, that's great.
The screen popped up with a thumbs up, and I can never recreate that. Or did you do that?
I didn't do that. I don't think. There you go. Wow, exciting. This is great. I bet all the listeners are enjoying this right now because they can't see it. But
right.
we do have a little list of famous people associated with P. Diddy that I think is really important to kind of share. Okay, so we have Uptown Records, right? And how that started and all of that. And arguably, Jaguar Wright has said in an interview and multiple interviews, and of course, all of the other things that are pointing to this. But it's funny that almost every single person associated with Uptown Records that started with P. Diddy and I'll Be Sure, who just woke up from a coma, but Heavy D. You've got Kim Porter, who was like an assistant, right? She wasn't one of like the main people, but she was, right? She was. You have Andre, excuse me, Andre Harrell, dead. All these people died. And the only people untouched, or the only person I should say untouched, is P. Diddy. Kim Porter died of pneumonia, 2018.
But speculation for Kim Porter is that did they rule it a homicide officially, or speculation that it was a homicide?
I think that there is some rumors, conspiracy has it that there were 2 autopsies done. The first medical examiner performed the autopsy that was fairly close to when she had died, and they ruled it a homicide and said that, or allegedly, right? There's this autopsy that was done, but then days or week or something like that later, they came out with another autopsy that said that she died of pneumonia and all of that stuff, basically succumbed to being sick. So the very questionable thing is, as well, tied to that, is P. Diddy's head of security was there when this, basically when she was found or shortly thereafter, and part of this whole lawsuit that came out that has really got everybody talking, that is actually the person that allegedly he uses to, take care of things.
The bodyguard.
Yep. And his head of security.
I know his name.
What's his name?
Gene.
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, Gene's his old bodyguard that's like spilling the tea.
Okay.
I'm talking about his current bodyguard. But his current head of security or whatever used to be the head of, when Michael Jackson died, was the head of his security, dude.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Little son.
And you mentioned that all these people had one thing in common: that died from the record label.
Ah, yes. Oh, yeah. So Kim Porter, all these people, even I'll Be Sure, who recovered from his coma, who has alluded since he's come out of his coma to the fact that Diddy may have been involved with that. But they were all coming out with tell-alls, like books, memoirs, having some sort of film made about them, something, right? I'm going to go out on a limb and say they probably know some things.
So how did this all start? How did P. Diddy come back into the light? Who came out with what to start this whole thing that is unraveling right now?
So you could argue 2. You could argue 2 of them, right? So the first is Cassie.
Yes.
So Cassie, back in November, I believe it was last year, she filed a lawsuit against P. Diddy and had, made allegations of essentially, I don't think we're allowed to say that word. Well, the jig is up.
Rewind.
You guys probably heard a little bit of an edit there. And that's because we were saying naughty words that we're not allowed to say. Not because we wanted to, but for educational purposes.
You can't say that word.
No, we can't say things like that. I forgot about the
Oh.
tubes. The tubes is pretty serious about that. So sorry, back to your regular scheduled programming that isn't always arriving as scheduled because we may need to take a week off here and there. So there was all sorts of allegations of doing things without consent and trafficking and Bill Cosbying someone. You're picking up what I'm putting down here. Right?
I think you're using Bill Cosby as an adjective or a verb.
We could go both ways. I'm not talking about pudding cups, okay? That's not what we're talking about. So these things, that she was saying happened. Well, it turns out that they settled, right? They settled outside of court, I guess $30 million, I believe, or something along those lines, like some big money, right? But she was allegedly getting paid by P. Diddy a considerable amount of money every month, $250,000, dude.
A month.
A month. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Brace yourself. Now, question for you, question for the audience. What are you willing to tolerate for $250,000? A month. It's $1 million a quarter.
Okay, so math would be
$1 million a quarter. That's $4 million a year.
$4 million a year. I was about to get my calculator out.
Oh, God.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, right? So, realistically, what would you be willing to tolerate for that amount of money?
How long was she with Diddy for?
10 years.
10 years?
Well, I didn't say you had to for 10 years. I'm just asking what you would be willing to tolerate, and then we'll talk about timelines.
I don't know, but that's a lot of money.
And rumor had it she made twice that amount previously, and she was only more recently dropped to that amount.
Why, did he get a new lady?
No, I don't think so. What? Maybe. Or a new
man. Why'd she get dropped?
I don't know. Maybe a power thing. I mean, is that really a thing? Like, it's not that much. It's not that. Like, it's still a lot of money. But what I'm saying is we're friends, and should an opportunity ever arise to be with P. Diddy, would you, would you be willing to
I don't think I would. I don't think I would.
You're going to go with no. Okay. Well, is it because of what you know or what we think we know? What's alleged?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Because that's why I think it's real, right? Somebody's got to be super freaking.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be some bad stuff going down.
To not want to make $4 million a year.
Bro, that's some serious cheddar. Now, there's that situation. But she settled. They settled. So that's it, bro.
Yep. She can't really say anything else, right? Because she settled. So she's kind of...
Well, yeah, it's just kind of like, yeah. Also, you got to think from a trauma perspective. You don't want to go to court, do all that stuff, and bring all that up, and it be public. And, so that started in the fall, let's say, or winter, I guess.
Of last year.
Of last year. Okay. Now, recently, Lil Rod came out, and he was a producer and helped produce this multiple records for P. Diddy and all this stuff, did all this work for him. And he is alleged and filed all these 73-page court document and lawsuit that he's filed.
Wow.
Alleging that he was, all sorts of things. We're talking the Bill Cosby, situation. This involves people like Cuba Gooding Jr. And I'm going to be honest with you. He was looking pretty ick. Did you see? Did you see?
What was the movie he was in? Did he play someone with special needs? I think that's where he lost me with his movie career. Not that I
Radio?
don't love Radio. Yeah.
Oh,
Was that it?
yeah. Yeah, the movie was called Radio. Also, arguably, one of the movies that launched his career. So,
Oh, really?
there's that. Or it is a very popular movie, I would say. You know, like that was okay. So yeah, he was looking like a creep on this guy. He's alleging some things. There were some things that came up in the lawsuit and in the documents, and I've seen some of the court documents, and it's pretty gnarly. They have pictures, photo evidence,
Really?
all this stuff. Yes, dude. Yes. And they talk about also P. Diddy's children being involved. So you had
Yeah.
mentioned his bodyguard, his old bodyguard, not the new one that's doing things now. What was that fella's name again? Gene, right? So I was watching an interview with Gene where he had brought something up that I thought was pretty interesting. And that was that when the raid happened and all this stuff, that he had brought up the fact that majority of the property and possessions are all in his children's names.
He has 7 kids.
And he wasn't at the residence any of the residents when they were raided, right?
He was at the airport.
If you're
right?
not there and they find stuff in a place that you don't technically own, what does that mean? Are you now, if they have footage and all this other stuff, sure, you know, but that's pretty shady too. Because what's that mean for his kids?
Well, they got pulled out with big guns and stuff.
And his alleged drug mule as well. And I don't know if you saw this kid. This kid, he looks like a snitch. This kid screams. He's gonna snitch, dude. If there's something to snitch, he's gonna be a little canary in there. Let me tell you.
So he put all this stuff in his kids' names so that if it goes down,
well, I
they're
don't
gonna be in
know. I
trouble.
mean, that's just what somebody had said. You know, this is all allegedly conspiracy, whatever, with the exception of the court documents and filings, right? And I assume that if somebody settles outside of court, like the Cassie situation, if you're willing to settle outside of court, let alone pay $30 million to do that, that is not some chump change, right? So I would think that that's true.
So let's talk about the home raid for a second. So his 2 houses got raided in LA and Miami. And Gene Deal, that's his name, Gene Deal, the old bodyguard. That's his name. See, I'm a fact checker. Anyways.
Only expect the best from our research department. So I appreciate that.
He said, and I watch videos, you watch videos, everybody's probably watched videos about how much, what's the word, resources they were using to raid his houses.
Mm-hmm. It was federal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep. So what did he say?
Those.
That's about as far as you got? You read his title name on the video and closed out?
No, I watched the video. I'm just saying that the amount of resources, I was backing up your point that there has to be some truth to this, because if there wasn't, why would they be using Homeland Security?
Absolutely.
So take back your mockery. I was going somewhere.
I retract. That was a rewind, everyone. I take it back.
I had it.
I take backsies. All right.
Yeah.
So what else happened with that raid? What does it say that they what did you find that they got out of the raid?
Well, they took like computers, all the things. And P. Diddy was just at the airport during all this. Now, speaking of that, where is P. Diddy now? He's missing.
You know, I did see a video where he hasn't been arrested, none of that, but somebody caught video footage of him meeting up with the Bieber fever. Did you have the Bieber fever as a kid?
I did not. I was too old to have the Bieber fever. I might be on this podcast if I did like Justin Bieber because I was too old.
Yes, you may be featured. So it's almost like he's checking in on him. And this footage, the way that P. Diddy's acting when he walks up to Bieber to like say hi and all that, he's touching on him like to check for a wire.
That video was recent. It's all making sense now. I sent you that video.
Yes.
Justin Bieber does not look good, by the way.
No, he's looking pretty sickly.
He looks, yes. But yes, P. Diddy goes up and like says hi and then checks to see if he has a wire on him.
It's what it appears, right? And if not, then like that's the weirdest secret handshake that only one person's doing I've ever seen. You know?
And Justin's just standing there.
And they have a history, right? When Justin Bieber was a child, he went
15.
Was it when he was 15?
Yes.
Man, he looks so young.
Checked.
I thought he was okay. So when he was 15, he kicked it. Yeah, he was kicking it with P. Diddy. And there was this weird video that they made, and it was like this 48 hours with P. Diddy, but it was only, obviously set up cuts of certain things. But the thing is that even then it was still creepy. So like this was edited and catered and like still gave off creepy vibes. And nobody really said anything about that, which brings me to, I don't know if you've heard of this person, but Usher the Gusher.
Oh, our halftime performer, Super Bowl halftime performer.
Yes, indeed. And it's funny that you say that because the Lil Rod lawsuit mentions not specifically the names. The names are redacted and there's only like a description. So one of them is the Super Bowl halftime show performer or Super Bowl performer. So I wonder who that could be when Usher had that weird thing going on when he was younger and went to flavor camp or whatever they referred to.
Flavor camp?
Like, how was that not questionable?
What is that? A summer camp?
That's what they referred to P. Diddy's thing that he did helping.
Oh, yes.
They called it flavor camp. You don't think that that's like odd? Flavor camp?
That's 100% odd. I would never myself go there or send my.
That's mentioned in Lil Rod's thing. There's this whole rumor about P. Diddy sending Usher to the old ER, allegedly, conspiracy, whatever. And a Philadelphia rapper that used to date Nicki Minaj. Spoiler alert, that's Meek Mill. So, it's also a very disturbing audio file going around that I will not recommend anybody listen to should you, I don't know, not be a disturbing individual. I don't know why some of the things that came up in this research were terrible. No interest in that. But nonetheless, what's insane to me above everything else is Diddy paid $30 million to hush up and just get rid of the whole Cassie lawsuit, right?
Right.
Lil Rod allegedly is doing all this because he wasn't paid for the work that he did for Diddy's Love album and all of that. Crazy thing is that he owed him pennies compared to what he paid Cassie.
Yeah.
And this kid still knew about all the stuff going on, still had all the evidence and all this stuff. So you can't say, well, because Cassie knew more or something. Maybe she did, but this kid knew a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that's real foolish on his part. But when I thought I was done with researching this for this episode, I realized I wasn't when I saw something pop up that said something about, well, obviously it's not going to be done for some time because this is obviously going to take some time. We're going to come back with regular updates on it, but Ashton Kutcher.
Yes. I did like Ashton Kutcher. Punked.
You've been punked. I can't believe how many bad situations have come up in my life, and I'm just waiting. But
Waiting for Ashton Kutcher.
yeah,
Punked. I liked him. I liked him in that one movie with Brittany Murphy. Is she R.I.P.?
yes, indeed. But
what was it called? Just Married?
Sure.
Yep.
Sounds right.
Anyways.
Thing is that I would have never thought that Ashton Kutcher would have been tied to this potentially, but hear me out on a crazy theory here. So apparently Ashton Kutcher is good friends with P. Diddy. Here's my shocked face.
From Punked.
Yeah. What other Ashton Kutcher do you know?
No, that's where they met each other.
No, I don't know that they met each other on Punked.
Yeah,
that's how they
started the show and they both co-produced it. I read that in my facts.
Oh. Well, I
You're
didn't
welcome.
read that. So thank you, research department. So that's how they're tied to being friends and knowing each other. So Ashton Kutcher is an entrepreneur, actor, whatnot. Everybody knows. And he had that foundation he had for, and I support foundations like this for the trafficking of children and things like that, preventing that and stopping that from being a thing. But we know, I'm sure everybody's fairly familiar with the Danny Masterson situation and his Bill Cosbying of things. He and Mila supporting him and trying to reduce his sentence really was a bad look.
They wrote letters.
They did indeed, with real pens and everything. Actually,
not even typed.
What are you? Do we know about that? Is that fact?
No, I was going off of what you said. I thought you.
Okay, so we don't know if that's factual. Remember, everything in the show could be completely wrong. I'd like to give that disclosure. Probably should have began with that. So sorry if you made it this far thinking that this was anything other than maybe some of it true.
I'd say that 97% of what comes out of our mouths is true.
True to what? Like, are you saying that you believe it's true in what you're saying 97% of the time? Because I believe that, but I believe that you believe that.
I think it's true. Can I just put a side note in real quick?
Sure.
Real quick. Sidebar. Because you're talking about foundations. Did you know that today is National Hairball Awareness Day?
What?
Yeah, so I learned that it's National Hairball Awareness Day. Now, that would be a foundation I would get behind. Continue. Did you know that was a thing?
I didn't, and I'd really appreciate if the listeners didn't think that should we ever reach any type of level to where we could sponsor a foundation that we would be sponsoring that of all things.
I would. I bet. Okay.
What does the foundation do? Do you even know?
For our next episode, I'm going to do some research about incidences with hairballs and how dangerous they can be and why there is a National Hairball Awareness Day.
So, do you have a problem with hairballs? What's happening?
Did you know that? I didn't know that. I didn't even know it was a thing.
No, you know why? See, exactly that. Because it's not a thing. It's not a thing. I'm here to help.
Apparently it is.
I feel like it's not a thing. I think there's like a day for everything at this point. And also, what is this, just for exclusively for cats, or is this for humans?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to dig into this a little bit more because I feel like there's a lot more behind this. But as Ashton has a foundation, that's my foundation that I would have. Continue.
Fantastic. I love this. I don't think we'll be doing that. So, okay. I can't sometimes. So Ashton's foundation, and calling it that just makes me think of makeup now, which I don't even wear. So I'm not even sure why, but at any rate, he ends up backing out because of all of the things that came up with
After
the
Diddy.
letters and stuff, right?
Yes, got it.
So it had me thinking, seeing that he could potentially be subpoenaed in all of this Diddler business. If you were someone, let's say, who was into bad stuff, big bad stuff, bigger than pudding cups, okay, everyone? Much bigger than pudding cups. Would it not actually be in your best interest to potentially open up a foundation with some of your resources to not only gain a tax benefit from that and all of the other financial gains that you could potentially have, but also keep a pulse on that exact thing that you may be participating in on the side or be aware of on the side and helping people that are doing that thing?
Yeah, it seems pretty guilty that he didn't do that. Suspicious.
Yeah, we can add him to the sus list. All right. Like,
Yes.
he was already teetering and now he's just full on. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But all this to say, the Diddy business is getting pretty crazy, you guys. There's a lot of things to uncover and a lot of people associated with this, mentioned in this. We've got
J-Lo.
J-Lo.
We didn't even get to J-Lo.
And let's talk about it for a second. We have time. Let's talk about it for a second. J-Lo only dated P. Diddy for a very short period of time.
2 years. 19.
This is very bad, you guys. I want everybody to know when we're recording this, we have a video display so we can see each other. Thank God for that. But also maybe not, because for some reason this is throwing balloons up when Simone moves her hands around, and it is incredibly distracting.
It's so exciting. I love it. But J-Lo and P. Diddy only dated for 2 years, from 1999 to 2001.
Okay.
2 years. I could do that math. And that is facts.
So there was a club shooting in 1999, not to be confused with the originally cited 91. And the entire situation was a little crazy. Okay, so they go into this, some of this stuff's alleged that I'm going to be saying here, but they actually go into this club, and allegedly, because J-Lo has a purse, she could bring in the gun, bring in the old pew pew. So she brings that in. There's, the situation and altercation that Diddy has with the other individual. And she gives him the gun, and then, all that stuff ensues. They flee. They get into a high-speed chase before they pull over. They both get arrested. And J-Lo continues to deny and even testifies in front of a grand jury that she did not know that there was any gun. There was no pew-pew that she knew of. She didn't know what happened. She didn't see what happened. She didn't know what was going on. She was so scared, yada, yada, yada. This poor innocent bystander, not even involved with the situation, got shot in the face. This woman is still alive, bro.
Wow.
Still alive.
I know 3 people got injured, but I did not know that.
Yeah, someone literally got shot in the face. And she actually looks totally like normal. I don't know, but she swears she knows who shot her. She remembers everything about it, which I would think if I was shot in the face, I'd pretty much remember what happened. I'd like to think, at least.
So it says, the documents say that the shooting was between Diddy and a Brooklyn thug named Matthew Allen. That's what it was about.
Yep. And he had another person he got acquitted, and somebody else ended up getting sentenced for that.
Yep, it was another guy got convicted on assault for 10 years. Got 10 years in prison.
And rumor has it that he bribed witnesses and all sorts of stuff, And then he and his son in the Little Rod lawsuit, they talk about there being a shooting in a production studio bathroom, an altercation that then was reported as a drive-by. They set it up to say, allegedly, it was set up to say that he got hit by a drive-by shooting outside. And allegedly, witnesses say that the police knew about it, knew that it happened in the bathroom. But Diddy had instructed everyone to say that he wasn't involved, his son wasn't involved, and it happened outside by a drive-by.
Suspicious.
And the deaths of other people, everyone around him, just I don't like to say it, but pushing up daisies.
I'm excited. I don't know that excited's the proper word.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how this all plays out for old Puff Daddy.
If he is the Diddler, which I'm sure he is, allegedly spiking drinks and having pudding parties and
going to Flavor Summer Camp.
Well, yeah, that whole thing is very odd. And the Usher thing, we might do a deeper dive into more specific storylines with some of these. If you guys have any requests around that or anything else, please be sure to, drop it there down below. And we really appreciate the patience while we took our time to get back here.
I also have created a Facebook page that will be in our profile, so you can become part of our Facebook community.
We will post updates until we get a little bit bigger on our channel. We won't have a community tab to be able to post updates to you guys. So we'll be posting them on the Facebook, and we really appreciate everyone who has liked and subscribed. We ask you to drop a like and a subscribe down below if you haven't already. Listening to this, it means a heck of a lot for the algorithm and getting our voices out there to more people, because that's what the world needs, is to hear us.
It does. It truly does.
I mean, you could count on us for inaccurate information anytime.
Hey, I'm still sticking to the 97%.
I don't know about that, though, because you thought the Riddler might not be associated with Batman, and that's how we let off on this one. So
I'll redeem myself.
Next week, we'll talk about all of the superheroes that we just disrespected in this episode. No, we won't bore you guys with that. But if anything crazy comes out, of course, we'll include that. But we'll have something really good in store for you guys next week. And again, thanks for stopping by, man. It's been a pretty rad time tonight.
See ya.
That's what?
Oh, I said bye.
That's not how we say bye.
I can say bye however I want.
Yeah, but you don't want to be rude.
You know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to learn how to say bye in different languages every time. Ciao.
I feel like
sayonara.
This is going to lower your 97%.
Ta-ta.
I don't know if ta-ta is a different language. I think.
Well, I was going to quote, what's his name? The little guy on The Hangover.
What?
You know the movie The Hangover?
I think I've seen it once.
The little guy, he's on The Masked Singer. He's a doctor in real life, but now he's an actor.
Oh, I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll allow it, because he's like, toodaloo, motherf. But then he says the F word, and if we can't say the R word, we can't say the F word.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there.
See?
Mm-hmm.
I edited myself. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Is
Bye-bye.
that better? Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye now.
Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, know you'll stand tall. Sat and watch from the sidelines, one too many times. Wicked games to play, make me wanna lose my mind. Found solitude, knowing it'll be over soon. Ever need a boost, count on me for the 1-2. Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, all we do is win, so show me my opponent. Adversity, doubt, stress, could care less, cause how we handle those like an S on our chest. Super proud of how we held it down on the way up. Can't wait for our day to ball, this is a layup. Nobody ever said this would be easy, but trust when I say that.